Hello, friends, and welcome to the show. So, this episode, I'll be talking about the rising inflation, the underperforming jobs report, and how Joe Biden is destroying the country. But before we get started, how about you smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and leave a comment down below. It helps with the algorithm. From Eamon Javers. Ouch! Jobs number way under expectations. Squawk Box breaking April jobs report plus 266,000, a big miss from consensus forecast of plus 1 million. Labor force participation rate was 61.7%, meaning 38% of Americans are just refusing to work at this point. Let's listen to the video.
Let's get to Steve because he's got the number. Okay, good. 1.08. Steve, the number.
Wow, it just came across. Give me a second here. We have the number here. Just came across. Sorry about that. It came across very quickly here. It looks like 266,000. It looks like it was a big disappointment at 266. But maybe I have that wrong. Let me double check the Bureau website here. 1 second. Yes, 266 is correct. Unemployment change, little change to 6.1%. So we have some issues here.
266,000.
Long-term unemployed.
Big revision.
Yes, that's what I'm.
Last month, 770 versus 916. Yes. Minus 78,000 on the revision. If we look at manufacturing, change in private payrolls, it was only 218,000. Manufacturing minus 18,000. The unemployment rate went up to 6.1. Average hourly earnings rocketing up 0.7. Year over year up 0.3 on earnings. And average work week strong 35. And here we go 61.7 on the labor force participation rate.
So what was he saying? He was saying that wages were going up, that work weeks were only 35 hours a week, and yet you can't find people to work. I have friends who work in the restaurant business, and they can't find bartenders, they can't find waitresses, they can't find busboys, they can't find people to cook. And these aren't $2 an hour jobs. They're paying their bartenders $15 an hour, and they keep the tips. So on the weekends, these people are making 40, 50 bucks an hour at these restaurants. During the week, they're still making 20, 25 bucks an hour if it's a slow Tuesday, basically. And they still can't find people to work because even if you're making less money, people are willing to take, I don't know, a 30 or 40% pay cut if they can just lay around, be lazy all day, and work on themselves or work on their art or work on watching Netflix and chilling. So it's bananas to expect nothing less. And this is Joe Biden's doing. Joe Biden is incentivizing mediocrity. Jumping over to Derek Hunter. When the social safety net becomes a hammock. Charles V. Payne. Congratulations, President Biden. You have achieved the progressive utopia. At least 7.4 million job openings, but only 266,000 people got a job last month. So this is a chart of job openings by thousands. In May 2020, there was 5.4 million jobs available. February 2021, 7.367 million jobs available. And yet only 266,000 people took a job. That's bananas. That means there's still 7 million open job positions around the United States. People are refusing to work. When you have a 62% job participation rate, what are you supposed to do? How are you supposed to incentivize people to get off their butts and work? And you can see the unemployment chart. This is the first month that unemployment has ticked up. Let's see if I can zoom into this chart a little bit for you guys watching on YouTube. And here you go. So you see the sharp uptick when COVID hit. Unemployment went up to 14%, nearly 15%. and it came way down. So September 2020, October 2020, November 2020, it went from nearly 15% to just under 7%. And then in March 2021, it dropped to 6%. And in April 2021, unemployment rose to 6.1%. You have 38% of the American population refusing to work, or 38% of the workforce refusing to go to work. You have unemployment upticking, and you have 7 million open jobs available, and we're still paying out these unemployment benefits? No, Joe Biden needs to sign an executive order essentially saying no more unemployment benefits because there are jobs available. Go out and find them. That's why actually you're seeing wages rise, because there are more jobs than people to fill it. And so people are being more, or companies are trying to be more and more competitive with one another in order to draw talent. Jumping over to Matt Walsh. Wait, so if you pay people not to work and hand checks to millions of people all at once for no discernible reason, you'll end up with fewer people working and skyrocketing inflation? My God. That's my Matt Walsh impression. Who could have ever seen this coming? We spent billions of dollars giving out free money to people, most of whom had jobs, and were doing fine without it. Now prices are exploding everywhere. Again, this was just totally unforeseeable. Absolutely stunning development. You see skyrocketing prices in silicone. You see skyrocketing prices in lumber, in gas, in milk, in eggs. Corn has skyrocketed. And once about 6 to 8 months, I predict you're going to see everything explode in prices. Once corn goes up 40 to 50%, like it already has, it takes a while for that to circulate through the markets. But what do you feed fish with? What do you feed chickens with, or cows? What do you use to make ethanol for gasoline? It's all corn. And the price of corn has skyrocketed, meaning everything else is going to skyrocket as well. It's not going to end well, because it's either everything's more expensive or the dollar's worth less. You can't print an infinite supply of money expecting that it's going to be worth the same. At a certain point, the US dollar is going to be worth about the same as monopoly money. We can only point the gun of the military at so many countries at once before countries just refuse to use the petrodollar, and they'll decide to switch to something like Bitcoin or the yen, the Chinese cryptocurrency that they're currently trying to produce. It's going to get bad. And as the saying goes, when it rains, it pours. And finally, from Matt Couch, pay the people who are working every day an extra $400 per week, and then watch the unemployment rate go back to 3%. And you hear the uninitiated, you hear the uninformed voter base of Democrats saying, create jobs, and they will. You have 7 million more jobs than there are people to take it. And not people to take it, but you have millions of people refusing to work. You have 7 million open positions and 38% of the workforce refusing to go back to work. There are jobs. Like I said, the bartender job at one of the restaurants by my house, $15 an hour, plus tips. The cooks make $15 to $20 an hour. If you are a really, really good cook, you'll probably make close to $25 an hour at that restaurant. They want workers. They want quality workers, and they're willing to pay for it. But there's not even people applying. That is what Joe Biden incentivized. He is incentivizing mediocrity. He's incentivizing laziness. He's incentivizing people suckling at the government teat, just like he and Bernie Sanders. They've been in the government longer than a lot of Americans have been alive. All they know is how to take from the government. They believe that the government is their safety net, and if it's good enough for them, it's good enough for the rest of America. But if I stayed at home and expected a government check, I won't be making $175,000 a year, or now as president, $400,000 a year. That doesn't include the unscrupulous business dealings of his family, which is potentially making him tens, if not hundreds of millions of dollars on the side. No. These people suckling off the government's teat is making what? $300 a week? So they're making 15 to 20 grand a year once you include state unemployment benefits stacked on top of the federal incentives. And guess what? They're okay with that. They're like, well, right now I don't have to pay my rent because the CDC said I don't have to. Biden is going to crush this economy from the bottom up. He keeps saying, I want to grow this economy from the bottom out. No, he's destroying the economy from the bottom out. People need to be empowered to work. They need to be expected to be better than they currently are. Every day, be 1% better. Do better, be better. But right now, Joe Biden wants people to be worse. He wants everybody to be 1% worse every single day. He wants people to be like him. And that's disturbing. He wants everybody to be like the smartest person he knows, the person who digs through carpet to find Parmesan cheese that he mistakenly believes is crack and then attempt to smoke it. That is the smartest person in America, folks. And Joe Biden wants you to reach that standard of greatness. So that's going to be it for now, folks. I'll see y'all in a little bit. Until then, have a good one. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a comment down below. Have a good one. Bye.